Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday only on Nice Radio.
St. Vincent long ago was hailed the region's gem. Salaries were low, but life was still good then. Then drugs and crime showed up. That one man vowed he'll fix. He asked for 2 full terms. Now he asking for 6. He promised to be tough on drugs and crime. When comes to serious crime, he missing all the time. The toughest man on crime seems missing all the time. This pageant man on crime keeps flashing all the time. Peace at home. He wants to fix the wall. It's time he fix the own home. 30 years ago, through the tongue, no high maintenance girls, no prostitution. Now we tap the mother chart, 50 plus alone last year. We losing all we youth, does anybody care? With 5 commissioners, 5 full terms in a row, one night 5 youths gone down. It's time for them to go. Mass murders in town, says the news headline. The toughest man on crime went missing another time. He wants to fix the wall and do it all alone. St. Vincent needs a fix. It's time he fix his own home. St. Vincent.
And that's the end of the game. A series victory, historic one. All of these fans who have endured a lot of heartbreak in recent times, they have something to embrace and applaud. It really is a special moment. Wonderful scenes here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Historic moment for this team. 34 years waiting for a series victory against Pakistan in ODI cricket. And these are the men who have made that a reality.
They feed the whole nation. Banana was green gold. The economy was strong. Today.
Children to secondary school if you didn't elect this man with his bishop. Children can't go to secondary school if you didn't elect this man with his bishop. Ralph Gonsalves is the man who make your children go to secondary school. Ralph Gonsalves is the man who make your children go to university. Ralph Gonsalves is the man who had that vision.
Drugs, we lose the war and crime. St. Vincent needs a fix, so get rid of them this time.
Minister says I have a vision for healthcare in this country. They only had 3 pharmacies, 3 state-run pharmacies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines when he was elected. Now we have over 40. And he built clinics in every village so that there's a nurse or a doctor within 10 minutes of anybody, anywhere.
So get rid of them this time.
One of the big debates going on in the country around this election time, and even before that, is who's going to take over from Ralph Gonsalves. And of course, your name is in the mix. So if the Honorable Camilo Gonsalves were to be Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what would that look like, and how different or similar would that be to the reign of Ralph Gonsalves?
Okay, before you answer that though, do you want to be Prime Minister?
The answer to that is right now, no, because we have a Prime Minister. And you can only ever have one captain of your team at any
Do you
one
have
time.
aspirations?
No. And I take this very seriously, because what you're elected to do is serve the people of your constituency and serve your country.
Mhm.
And if you have burning within you some desire to supplant or take over or usurp who is in charge at the moment, you don't have, you've lost vision. You don't have your eye.
Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday only on Nice Radio.
Good night, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is Friday, the 15th of August, so we are in the middle of the month. And we are killing down the summer vacation for children, so they just have about another 2 weeks to go before it's back to school in batter old shoes, as they use, batter rubber shoes, as they used to say. So, but as you know, every Friday around this time, it is the program that we call Keeping It Real. So, wherever you may be, every nook and cranny, crab hole, fox hole, dog hole, rabbit hole, and whatever medium you may be using to get this program, whether it be TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, or AI, the regular radio, or through your television using Bluetooth, Keeping It Real is on the air. And as the saying goes, there's never ever a dull moment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, exhale all of the bad oxygen, carbon monoxide, dioxide, and all of the bad enzyme that is clogging up your system and preventing you from receiving this program and keep a deep inhalation of oxygen so that your system will be prepared and you'll be able to accept and analyze what is being said to you on this program. And as we say, and as we ask you, all we want you to do is to keep it real, keep it civil, don't be slanderous, don't be aggressive or rude, obscene. Just ensure that you are honest on what you are saying when the lines are open, because remember, it's an interactive program that you can have your bit to say by respecting the policy when it comes to talk show, because we don't want to be in any sort of problem with anyone or anything and put this station at risk. And we, the host, and you who is participating, let us ensure that we keep it safe, because this program is always being recorded. So we don't want to slip or you slip and all of us be the penalty. So prepare to be enlightened, informed, and educated, because keeping it real is on the air. Well, the silly season has kicked off, and it is really silly season because the sort of utterance that I'm hearing, I wanted to know if these people are for real, if they have common sense, or something wrong with them. We just played 3 tape there out of many that we have. One, the Minister of Finance is stating that is not until his father became Prime Minister that your children started to go to secondary school. So where are you back in the 70s? Since have secondary school have been in operation in this country? Could somebody please answer that for me? I also went to university before the ULP were in office. And he also went forward on and stated it's not until ULP came into office that children going to university. Is he dreaming or is he mad? Maybe I should play this song by Chocolates. They see the mad? I see the mad? Somebody really acting as a mad, according to Chalky. So I think I might have to play that song with to the program tonight. Somebody acting like the mad. Then he further went on and stated that it's not until they came into office that there are pharmacies, about 40 pharmacies, he didn't say pharmacies located throughout the length and breadth of this country. And in every community, there are clinics. Well, I knew there was always a clinic in Rosal. There's always one in Kumaka, one in Coalfield, one in Chatville. Well, it was called that was a hospital. You also have one in Spring Village. You have one in Barley, one in Liu, one in Camden Park, one in Vermont, and I can go on. And all these were in operation long before the ULP came into office. So I would like the kind of shit, I know the kind of shit that can look if he's smoking, because age say that all those fellas smoking too. Yes? Because he can be, probably it's Looney Tune. Yeah, it's cartoon characters. Sad to say. But that's how it is. But I have more serious business than that too I'm to deal with tonight. You know I'm always dealing with the issues concerning workers. This month is Emancipation Month. And a draconian law has been passed at the NIS building. So if you're going to the NIS building, there are certain things that you have to follow. And if you want to visit certain offices and so, like if you're going to tourism, you have to fill out a register, you have to say where you come for, where you're going for, and you can't go in anymore to the person's office. So I want to know, why all these retrogressive law and action being put into place against the ordinary man? Yeah. Israel, Palestine, or Gaza. So we had terrorists gonna visit the building and plant something to blow up or to there go some sort of anthrax or whatever that would affect the staff. What are they afraid of? Why all of a sudden, when you're supposed to have freedom, you are restricting the right and privilege of the of people? And you are even threatening workers and tell them that how. Well, you start micromanaging. That is one. But you're telling workers that if they're sick and after 2 days they bring a sick leave, they are not going to be honored and they're not going to be paid for those sick leave. And they may even be fired. So I want to know if these people really know the labor laws of this country, or is a new form of contractual operation that going to be taking place. Yeah. You have workers, they're working for years and they're not sure of a pension. You don't have a pension plan for these workers. And the meager bit that they're going to be getting from NS can't carry them. But instead of you try to enhance their working condition and their betterment when they have come to the age to retire, no. What she was doing is passing draconian order to frustrate and affect productivity. Because man, when he is under stress, can't perform. And that's all that you're doing. That's all that you're doing. I'm putting square pegs in wrong hole to manage. Then you also fired a young guy. And what was his wrong? Being a member of the youth arm of the NDP party. You made his position redundant. But in making a position redundant, you went and employed 2 persons to fill the same post. Huh? Could these things be right? Huh? Could these things be right? But yet still, you are seeing that how we are heading down the road to be a first world nation. Tell me which first world nation are functioning in the way how we are being functioned. Yeah. Then you start sharing out left, right, and center because I want somebody to answer this here for me tonight when the lines are open. How much time now have they brought in tablet and computers over the past 25 years? And what is the cost? And this new set that is now here, I think it's 2,700 is the amount, are only for those who are Form 5 and those who are going to the tertiary institution. I think the tertiary and also, I believe the tech work centers, those may also qualify for the listing. And my simple analysis is that a number of those who are going to Form 5 have already got gadget already. Some of them may have already got tablets, computers, and now they're gonna get computers again. So, what is the whole just behind of it? And it is straightforward, and I would say it without a doubt. It's all about electioneering, hoping that you could hoodwink the young people into voting for you to get a sixth term by bribery. And I'm saying it without a doubt, by bribery. And I'm waiting to hear the rhetoric that would be coming when you're handing out these computers. Yeah. And the whole justification for these. Yeah. Because these students have already obtained laptop. Or if they have not obtained laptop, they have got tablet. And why it is only around this time that you see it fit to bring in these things? Explain to me, and then the age group that you're giving it to are the ones who are now turning into young adults. Because you ain't giving to Form 1, you ain't giving to Form 2, you ain't giving to Form 3, neither Form 4. But those who have already got when they were in for 5 years ago, let me put it at that, and they were, say, 13 years old. They are now 18, and they are able to register to vote. So you master tricking nobody. It's just a waste of the country resource unnecessarily. And while we're on that, education-wise, a number of these students are persons who are going to be receiving these gadgets. Some of them live in areas where they don't have access to the internet to use them. So they may be only be a white elephant until they get to area where they can get Wi-Fi and all those sort of things. Won't it? And some schools are not equipped. They want to do IT, but they can't do it because they do not have IT lab at their school. Won't it have been better off developing IT labs in these schools and place these computers here for the accessibility for a wider cross-section of persons? Won't that be better? But then again, you said it is under your watch, under your ministry. And the Minister of Education, if he had balls, he would stand up as a man and say, I'm not standing for this kind of nonsense. If you are responsible for education, your ministry should never have been cut into two to downsize you. If you are a man and a conscious thinking person, Curtis King, I'm calling your name out, I'm calling you because me and your body, we go way back. You would stand up and be counted on behalf of the teachers, where you were once president of the Teachers Union. You were once part of the executive. You was once one of the militants standing up for equal rights and justice. But now, it's amazing, according to Kuku, how people have changed. As soon as you get into power, as the people say, I'm not sure if you say so, you only going to tweet your food. But it seems that is so. Because the sort of things that have happened under your watch, and you remain docile, dumb, without defending and standing up. I can't believe that you're loyal to wrongness. I could never believe that. You were chanting against the whole wrongness of the pension and what was being done. But you're getting a bowl full of the gravy, so it couldn't be bothered to you anymore. Come on. Stand up and be counted. Stand up. The people elected you. And let me let people know this. In an election, it's 15 elections that we are having in an election. We do not elect a prime minister. We elect 15 individuals. And it is the majority of a party decide who should be prime minister. And not because you win your seat. Suppose the leader loses a seat, she will still be prime minister? Have we ever wondered about that? So you lost your seat, but we're going to nominate you as prime minister of the country. And you didn't win your seat. Because it is 15 independent election. And then, when they go into the caucus, after the election, they choose who would be prime minister. So, no wonder Camilo is stating that he don't want to be prime minister and he don't want to be leader. But then I also hear him saying some absurd thing. Because Leacock stated that Chevron would be the first female prime minister. And Shallow said that he have ambition to be prime minister. So he mustn't have ambition. And this dumb, totish, who's under his father coattail. His father had the exit. But he's still saying that they don't need a new leader. The father said he only wanted 2 terms. Now he wanted 6. And you, Camilo, stated that he is the most brilliant of all of you. So then, with the sense that we should vote all you. He is the most brilliant. He have a more brilliant mind than all of you. That's an embarrassment. Yeah. That is an embarrassment, and then you're talking, watch me. We want a collective leadership to manage the affairs of this country, and not no dictator or not no supreme leader. We don't want like Putin. We don't want like Trump, although there's a pushback in America. We don't want like Kim Il-sung in North Korea and all those countries that have dictatorial ambition. We want collective leadership. That if by chance our leader is not performing, the majority could decide, look, we think it's time that you step aside and allow somebody else to take the reign and lead us forward. So I see nothing wrong with Chevron being the first female prime minister if she has that ability. And I see nothing wrong for Mr. Shallow to have ambition to be prime minister. What I see wrong is where you are stating that how a geriatric person who is at the twilight of their time, who should be feeling happy, like me, enjoying having his grandchildren around him and playing with him and enjoying the company, instead of fighting up himself unnecessarily. You don't do it. You don't get all the accolade that you could acclaim. But power. But oh, how terrible does the mighty crash. Goliath was fallen by a little one with a sling and a stone. Remember that. Okay? And every kingdom does fall in due course and time. Some naturally because they fall in on themselves. Some by other army getting as strong as them and were able to overtake them. Some by fighting among themselves. And it could go on. But just remember, there comes a time when your role of acting on the stage will come to an end. Then, workers in general in this country is being paid the less in the OECS. Our equivalent to the other countries, we are at 1.28 US an hour, as compared to places like St. Lucia and Grenada, where $3 and those sort of things an hour. We are stating that our economy are doing so well. Yet, people have to make a choice as to which one of the bill they're going to pay. Then also, inflation. Inflation is running amok. And people can't eat healthy. But don't talk about the health system. That is a thing that has to be dealt with by itself. But as for now, I will hold until a little later.
St. Vincent long ago was hailed the region strength. Salaries were low, but life was still good then. Then drugs and crime showed up. That one man vowed he'll fix. He asked for 2 full terms. Now he asking for 6. He promised to be tough and
Pleasant good night to all in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and those who are listening abroad. I'm going to read to you tonight from section 47 of our Constitution. Section 47, subsection 1. Each session of Parliament shall be held at such a place within St. Vincent and shall begin at such time, not being later than 6 months from the end of the preceding session. If Parliament has been prorogued, or 1 month from the holding of a general election of representatives in Parliament has been dissolved, as the Governor General shall appoint by proclamation. I give you
Vincent and the Grenadines, and shall begin at such time as the Governor General shall appoint by proclamation. And whereas it is expedient that a session of the said Parliament shall be held upstairs of the Courthouse Building, Kingstown, and shall begin on the 30th day of November 2020 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, therefore, I, Dame Susan Duggan, GCMG, OBE, Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, do hereby appoint the said upstairs of the Courthouse Building as the place at which the said session shall be held on Monday, the 30th day of November, 2020, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, as the time at which the said session.
Okay, I play that for you because I'm going to make a different type of presentation tonight. I've been listening over the last couple of months to some clips and some other things from the ULP. And I must inform our listeners, I heard they still mentioning the Rabaca Bridge, the Argyle International Airport, and a number of things they did way back in the first term. But for all of us to understand that after the Parliament has been prorogued or dissolved, the new sitting of Parliament, there's a new Parliament, and therefore everything should start new. If the Parliament decide, okay, they did not get through with the legislative agenda, they cannot automatically go and start. So the Parliament, when you're elected, when a government is elected in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are elected for 5 years. And they come to you at the end of that 5 years and asked for your vote. And that time will be coming shortly. So they will be coming around, or they already in your faces asking for your vote. You'll hear about, and that is why I laugh because I went through a document, and I'm going to do this deliberately because some of us need to understand that what they are campaigning on cannot make any logical sense. The Argyle International Airport opened on the 14th of February 2017. The Rabaca Bridge was the 28th of March 2007. They gave us half day for the 28th. And we voted in 2010 and we voted again in 2020. So the NDP should not, the ULP should not be allowed to come and campaign on the Rebecca Bridge or something that they did in 2001, 2002. They have to show to us their scorecard from 2020 to 2025. That is the new sitting of parliament, that is the new elected term that we would have given them. And that is the card they had to show to us, 2020 to 2025. So don't allow what they campaign on in 2007, 21, 2017 to come and fool you. That is not how a parliamentary democracy operates. So the parliamentary democracy operates that when parliament is dissolved, you go to the poll and you give the parliamentarian a new mandate. And as Poya rightly indicated, we have 15 separate elections on election day. It's called general elections. It's not one election, it's 15 constituencies where we elect 15 representatives to go to parliament. And those 15 representatives ought to represent the 15 constituencies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And they ought to bring to us their scorecard or the sheet for the last 5 years, and not 20 years, not 10 years, not 18 years, not 6 years, but 5 years, because they were elected for that 5 years. So let us, I have a manifesto here from the NDP. I think this may be in 98. I can't remember seeing any date on it, but I think it's 98. So let us just talk about some of the ridiculous things that they try on us from time to time. So let us say that the NDP in campaigning in North Windward campaign that they took electricity to North Windward. You see how ridiculous that will sound? That they took electricity to North Windward, trying to win your vote in 2025. And something is they took electricity to North Windward, or let's say water, or any other thing. Doesn't make any sense to me. So, but let us just use their own argument to support a small presentation tonight. So this is what the NDP indicated in 98. So they have where we are, where we began, where we are today, and where we are going. And then they have another caption, what we have done. So they're giving us their scorecard from 94 to 98. With our partners in the Windward Island, established Webeco and purchased geese industry, over 20 million pounds investment, and is now 50 million pounds. 50 million, yes. So maybe they could use that to campaign, because we have nothing now. We have no geese in terms of the banana shipment and a number of other things. Assisted the Banana Growers Association with over $9 million in debt relief. Right? And they went on and on in the yield, the average yield of banana to approximately 20 tons per acre. Set up the Agriculture Business Startup Fund, for which we have secured initial funding of $5 million And they went on to indicate what the score sheet then. They went on in the area of schools. And I tell you, the caption is what we have done. So they indicate to us, in consultation with the teachers, complete an education policy document. Replace the outdated Education Act of 1935 with one more capable of guiding the education system in the 21st century. Increase the percentage of trained teachers within the system from 28% to 56%. I want you to pay attention to that. Increase the percentage of trained teachers within the system from 28% to 56%. Significantly reduce overcrowding in primary school with the construction of the C.W. Prescott, the Westwood, and the Newgrounds Primary School, and through extension to several other, including Evesham and Lauders. We designed the secondary school curriculum to emphasize the importance of technical and vocational education, increase the number of secondary school places by the construction of multipurpose centers at the Camlin Park, Peter Bedell, and Newgrounds. Establish the formation of the delivery of tertiary education and teachers and training throughout the construction of, throughout the construction of the first phase of the community college at Glen. There's an old piece of paper I have it, so mine. Provide opportunity for Vincentians from all walks of life to attain tertiary education by paying the economic cost at the UE. So you heard the tape I play with Camelo, and you see why I go into this. So we'll come back to Camelo just now. Increase the number of island scholars from 1 to 4 and provide training to all levels for more than 200 persons per year at institutions in our country, including Cuba. So just follow me. Refurbish school where necessary to accommodate computer installation. Introduce computer in every school in the country. Provide additional secondary school places with the completion of the Georgetown Secondary School at a cost of $7.1 million. Construct the second phase of the community college by adding the Learning Resource Center and additional classroom at a cost of $16 million. Integrate the technical college, teachers college, and school of nursing into the community college. Continue to provide scholarship and training opportunity for our students. Expand technical and vocational education. Review and upgrade the primary and secondary school curricula. And it went on. Oh, let me see. Yeah, what we have done. Introduce a comprehensive package of fiscal incentives aimed at encouraging Vincentians to invest in small and medium-sized hotels. This assists both existing hoteliers and new investors. Successfully negotiate private sector investment of more than US $85 million. In Canaan, there be creating direct employment of over 700 Vincentians and indirect employment for many more. Construction and improve airport facility, Beckwith Union, Canaan, improve nature trail, and a number of other things. So I'm just saying, right, in terms of the argument we always have, you can't have this government telling you about the airport. What they have to tell us in this coming election, and what we want to know, is whether or not the democratic process has gotten better or worse. So we want to hear about Cornelius John. Wait, I have something else here. We would like to hear about Chambers. I saw his brother today. Well, was listening something with his brother today, indicating that the inquest have concluded, and what his disappointment that his mother would have died, or his mother died, and his father was not invited, and other things to that effect. So we want to know about that. We want to know about CJ and what happened with the issue of CJ. So we want to know those things. We want to know about the teachers and whether or not, and the public servants, whether or not that law that was passed, whether or not that is the result or effect of a number of teachers getting stroke and passing from this life on to the next. Those are the things we want to know in this term. And I saw a nice argument with a former minister of the government under the NDP, challenging a post on Facebook where a particular individual, I wouldn't call any of the names, indicated that the vaccine are killing people and people are falling off every day. And this particular former minister indicated to her, you can't say that you have no scientific proof, and among other things. I'm going to play this particular clip for you before I get back.
Whether if persons want to accept the reality that the vaccine is killing people, it doesn't make the reality of non-effective. I am evidence, like I said before, that the vaccine is killing people. I hear stories all the time. Some stories that I hear, they come down.
So for the former minister, there's a former teacher of the girls' high school. After this presentation, I can't remember if it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks after, she died. Some other persons we know for a fact indicated to you about menstruation and other complication, stroke and other things afterward, they would have took the vaccine. Yes, you may be correct in one aspect of the way, because the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not keeping stats or taking any stats on persons who would have passed from this scene on to the next. Recently, sometime as this week, a former teacher at prep school and grammar school would have passed from this life on to the next. So we want to know that those are the things. We want to know whether or not you are taking responsibility, or you are responsible for those teachers and public servants who would have passed from one stage to the next. We want to know whether or not. So those are the things we want to keep you unchecked with. We want to know whether or not it was okay for all the protesters, well, a lot of protesters, to be locked up unconstitutionally and illegally, proven also by the court and by our own understanding of the laws. So those are the things that you have to give account for. And those are the things we wanted to give account. So I listened to Carmelo, and seriously, he's an embarrassment in terms of his presentation, I heard. Because for him to say that if Dr. Gonza wasn't in office, children wouldn't be going to secondary school and to university. And I read to you from the particular document from 98, either 94 or 98, and indicate you how much person was going off to university and we know for a fact, I mean, because Sabota Caesar was an island scholar, and he was an island scholar under Dr. Gonsalves. Luke Brown also was an island scholar, and I could call a lot of other names. So to make those general statements, I think is dishonest on his part to suggest. And for him, I think we need to have Curtis come in at this juncture also to indicate to us how many of those children who started at secondary school at the end of the school, at the start of the school year, finishes at Form 5. That is what we need to know. Or whether or not they fall by the way from Form 1 and Form 2 and don't go back to school. That is what we need to know. So when they're giving us stats, you need to give us the proper stats. So tell us exactly. Yes, children going into secondary school is a fact. Everybody, whether you passed or you do not pass, you have an opportunity to go to secondary school. How many of them are making use of that, and how many of them could cope with what happened in secondary school after we pushed them into a secondary school? How many of them can read and write, passing through the entire system, reaching Form 2 and 3 and cannot read and write still? Tell me, Carmelo, if you know about any child or children in your day passing from preschool first, going to secondary school and couldn't read and write. Tell me if you know of any then that couldn't read and write and reach in Form 2 or Form 3. Tell me. So whether or not they get a secondary school certificate doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because they are not, some of them are not 100, they're not literate. And it's an injustice we're doing to our children. It's an injustice we're doing to our children, because in the early days, you have the tertiary education which they could have gone to. The technical schools, while you in primary school and learn a trade and learn to do homework for the ladies. We decide to cut out most of those things. And then we're dealing with the academia and they can't cope. And if you talk to my friend Curtis King, and Poya is correct, some people are strange, because when Curtis was in the system as a teacher, whether at the Western George or at the grammar school, he used to be singing a different song. He was singing from a different song sheet. And I find it very hypocritical. Just because you're in a position and you know what is happening, and you may be in a position where you have what I call collective responsibility, where you can speak out on those things. I am of the opinion, if you're not going to speak the truth, then you should shut your mouth. I am of that opinion. So now to the other section, the other part where we spoke to the issue of health centers in every villages under Dr. Gonzalez Bijan. I don't know where Carmelo was over the years, or whether or not he was under some influence. Because to make those brave statements, I wonder where he was all the time. Because Poya listed a number of them. Because when I saw that, I text somebody and asked them if they have a clinic up in their community, up in their village. Because I find it was strange. Because, and when we are presenting, we ought to present facts at all times. And it's politics. And I don't see why politicians have to lie. You could speak the truth and you could still be the people's choice by the end of the day. But why you have to tell lies? Because, a lot of us are not well informed and we're not au fait with our history. So you try to, I believe, well, you couldn't be speaking to us. I believe with the younger generation, you are trying to fool because most of us know better. So I don't believe you were talking to us. We played a clip also with West Indies. I mean, over the last couple of weeks, the board get a number of bashing. Who should resign, and the board should this, and the board should that. We have cricket, we have festival, emancipation festival, and all sort of things. Because the West Indies cricketers did not perform. We call on the board to, entire board, they should go. Sammy should go, this should go, that should go. So should we, at this time, give credit to the board for the victory in 34 years? 34 years, never won a series against the particular team. 34 years. So should the board be given the credit now after they would have succeeded in giving us victory that Brian Lara and all the rest big hitters couldn't give? I mean, so you see how nonsensical from Dr. Gonsalves down the argument were? Because the board is not responsible for the performance of the players. I mean, I listened to I saw something with, I think it's Walsh, where he basically indicate over the years that the board one should take the responsibility, the blame. So what to that effect? I think it was dealing with the IL something. But should the board be given the credit now for the victory of the team? I mean, so like I was saying, the nonsensicalness of person in terms of the argument, in terms of the level of reasoning, I wonder from time to time whether or not we are serious. And you listen to people who we thought have something between the two ears, and you listen to them and you want to know if they are brainwashed to some of the line of or level of reasoning, and we find it distasteful. I find it very distasteful, some of the level of reasoning. So here what? I am saying for us as a people, we need to listen, we need to read, and we need to call out the politicians and them when they are telling us untruth, lies, blatant lie. I ain't not in parliament, so when they're telling us lies. Because for us as a people who, and everything now, we can go and get it at our fingertip. It's not like in the early days where you used to have to go and listen, and the police used to be out in the Jeep recording, and you didn't have access to all the information, but you're getting it at your fingertip. So you have to be truthful, and it should be an indictment on the liars for the elections. You should not be, you ought not to be doing those things and still be elected by the people. It's unfair to deliberately mislead the younger generation because they may not have all the information they should. So be truthful. You can, one of these days, I hope. Oh, I had to play this again because I was listening this and it disturbed me too.
If Shallow was a ULP candidate, What would have been the problem in St. Vincent? What would have been the talk? Was it have been the same talk? Or would it have been the best candidate, arguably the brightest candidate in that come to the ULP since?
Would he have been against the festival if he was a ULP candidate?
So that person who asked the question supposed to be a journalist and supposed to know better. I want him to, when he go back on Kingsley program, to indicate to me at which point did Shallow against the festival. Tell me which point, because you asked the question if you would have been against it. I mean, tell me at which point you heard Shallow indicated in any forum that he's against the tournament. So that's what I'm talking about, you see. And two other guys sit down there and listen to him to get away with that, to indicate that if Shallow was on the other side, if he would have been against. Shallow I never heard him indicated that he was against. I think there was a problem with procedures in terms of following the proper procedures. So that is what I'm saying. So people listen to us on radio and they expect us to speak the truth and to give them the facts at all times. Whether or not you have a political opinion, yes or no, whether or not you support a party, but you have to be true to yourself. So to indicate that, or to suggest that he was against the tournament, that is dishonest. That is dishonest, in my opinion, because from listening all the debate that were going on, and the question is, as somebody rightfully asks, if Shallow was with the ULP, would have been a tournament in St. Vincent and again, an emancipation tournament? And the answer to it is no. And I could say that without any fear of contradiction. And we're just trying to make Shallow look bad. So therefore, we put off the tournament to make him look bad. But let me play this last thing and then I will open the line.
So let's make the place safer as well. Now I see people. Two things: garbage dumped. Who dumping that? Ghosts? Is it not human beings dumping in their own neighborhood? I just said to the AG, we had to get back the litter warrants and lock up those people who dumping garbage all over the country. I saw another video, a man walking outside his own front yard and saying, look at grass, look at grass, look at grass. That's in front of your own house. If you cannot clean in front of your own house, heaven help us. Some of us has become too lazy and greedy. Cut the grass in front of your own home. Dump your garbage in the beach and dump other dumps. Don't drive up on somebody's road and dump in garbage. We are human beings in Trinidad and Tobago, not animals. So clean up your waste. And AG, get the law working. Let's get the litter ones out there. And as the AG always tells us, he says, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Pleasure, good night.
Hey, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Sounds good. Sounds good tonight, man. But you know, when I listen to all of these different diatribe, if I can call it that, diatribe, in terms of destroying our own people, how can you come up with emancipation? That's the best you can do for emancipation? When we so bent on impeding or stopping progress for our people that can make a difference. You know, it's amazing that Dr. Kishore Shallow name, you know, could be mentioned by all this and that. I deliberately say it that way. All this and that. for all the shortcomings, as though Dr. Kishore Shallow held political power in this country. And now is the time to lambaste him. When we had the ULP as the ruling regime here, and the Prime Minister, Dr. Everard Gonzalez, was hailed as the savior, as the best thing, as it says in sliced bread. And yet we have so much atrocities. I had to ask the question the other day. All what I'm hearing about, isn't this a crime? Isn't this a crime right in St. Vincent and the Grenadines against humanity? I want some bright person to show me otherwise. All what you hear taking place in this country. And this man is still celebrated as the best thing ever in our country. And yet we have so many questionable things happening in this country. And the authorities turning a blind eye to some of these things, or to all, because they also have to be held responsible as a government. There's so much things what happened? We were promised that when they had the soap powder fiasco, or whatever you want to call it, in Union Island, where one person lost their life, right?
Correct.
And we heard Venezuelans were to come back here to answer. Where are they? I mean, and you got the bare-faced, bold-facedness, no shame at all, to come back now and trying to still hoodwink people. I saw this from the beginning, but we were shouting, we were talking about he's charismatic, he had charisma, and all them dotish nonsenses without using your head, your eyes, to see what was taking place in our country. This didn't just happen overnight, It just didn't happen overnight. It built up. But sometimes, but I still have to ask the question: what is it? What is it that really caught our Vincentian people to find themselves in this mess? What is it? What was it about the leadership of Ralph E. Gonzalez, at the time? Was it? I believe it had to do. They got tricked with the charisma and all the things that he used to. I mean,
Poya answer you, he was with them.
Yes, that's true. I know that. I remember
He came forward to answer you.
Yeah, they come in.
No, the whole situation is like this. People have promises, they have grand ideas, but that is only in the initial stage, because it seems that they want to rewrite the history of this country. And it only started in 2001 to present. Even some of our historians that is writing our history seems to have that idea too, that everything that we attain and achieve was attained and achieved through the blessing of this one person.
David, see, he learned good boy because he answered your question up to now.
That's true. He added some more wood. He pushing more wood under the fire, He's pushing more wood on the fire with the what he's telling me about.
Yes.
Because I'm well aware of what he's talking about. I said it before. I could have seen the aim of this guy. I mean, I don't have nothing against the man in the sense that he's a human being and I'm a human being. But don't make yourself Don't make yourself or don't make me believe that you're better than me. Don't do that. I have sense, and my sense is basic common sense to see through you. But for Vincentians, oh, he's the greatest thing. And I they lose all respect for those of us who are also in the country, understand our history, understand the politics. What to us? What do we? And you have to bring in the color. You have to bring in the color here. Up to now, we are not emancipated enough. When they brought these guys, I was hoping that if I was in this situation, I was hoping I could get to talk to Andy Roberts, who I spoke 2 years ago. He won't remember me, maybe. Sir Clive Lloyd. Clive Lloyd and I was on the front page of a newspaper. I could talk about these things because this is what happened with me. But how many Vincentians know about that? Huh? I have been among the creme de la creme, among these so-called, who they like to talk about, so-called big shots or big whatever, however they look at them. And I was happy that I found myself among them. So I learned how they behave, where social, where the social thing is concerned, some of the things that they practice, and if you have to be in their company, what you have to do. They lose touch. They lose touch with reality when you see you're in their company. I have experienced this. They look down at black people as nobody. And this is the thing we can't get over up to now. They have no respect and regard for the people. And it's unfortunate, I have to say it. And that's what, after ULP get into power, led by the great leader, as they would want to tell you, all these things are now revealing, and still some of us can't see it. All of this is coming to, coming out in the open. When I hear, the Prime Minister and I were close, I socialized with him, and I did that because I wanted to learn how this, when people start to talk about this guy. And doing that, he was Portuguese. I didn't tell him, he identified himself to the whole country that he's Portuguese when he just got into office. Why did he have to tell us that? Think, the man, think. And when I remember how Sir James Mitchell really hit him with the history of Portuguese in the slave trade. Who first brought slaves to the Caribbean? Oh, but we only love to listen to some and not to listen to others, right? This is where our nation is concerned, and maybe that's what makes St. Vincent and the Grenadines such a what should I say, interesting country to follow, or why we find ourselves in whatever situation, all because we have a leader who wants to impose. Remember, we have had leaders in the past like that. As I'm saying that, I remember when now we have Romanians here. I don't know how they came here, but we have Romanians here. But I remember in Romania when the leader, Ceausescu, whatever his name, how he took advantage of those people in Romania, and eventually he was brought before a firing squad. Yes, they got rid of him in that way. So we have leaders of all kinds. We have leaders who will go to church and pray, and inside of them they have the devil in them. They're going to the church, but that's just a make-believe thing to, because we love Christianity. If you want to get a following, well, I don't know if it will still happen. Just open a church. See if you could open a church and be good in the way you express your eloquence and that sort of thing, and you see people coming along and so on, without thinking and questioning, wait, who is this guy? Where he come from? Huh? So those are examples. So there's so much, it burns inside when I see how people are being misled and fooled and made asses of. And he himself said one time when UNDP was protesting, well, he said he made reference to us as asses, the outside, something like that. Then Ken Lin, when Ken Lin chanted, what did he do? He gave him the perfect middle finger. What was that for? There's so much things. This guy has looked down and I mean, I have to talk. He has the way he has treated some of our people, and they just walk away like that. Huh? Look at when he got his head bust, as he say. Huh? Anyhow, I said too much. I just hope and trust that we will see a change in this country. Because more than this, I don't know where we're going. If we have to undergo this, if we have to undergo another 25 years or so, think about where we're going. And to keep these same people who seem not to be able to think differently, but stuck in the mud, so to speak, the mud that all of us, they want all of us to get into, all the mud around us. Thank you.
All right.
That judgment is allowed to stand. Hear me and hear me well. And we have another pandemic. The only alternative which will remain is to let the pandemic until men, women, and children willy-nilly. I am not prepared. There are indications right now that are telling us.
Brother, good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Abraham.
Good night, good night.
Good night, Poya. Mr. Abraham, question for you. This government, since getting into office, has this government built on St. Vincent that structure that the need other government have in the country? Did that this present government expand on that building by maintenance and developing and keeping it up to scratch?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. And for me, for what I have noticed, this government has allowed
everything
more
to run
things
down.
destructive to fall. Instead of building on the country for the 20-something years that they've been there, leave the country just to fall. And the structure that they meet, other government meet, that's supposed to keep to build the country. They just leave it. They don't pay no mind. For instance, the Otley Hall project.
Correct.
We know that was a project that this government did not want to see come on street because they're not the one who bring it there. And they knew that project would have been a project would have bring lots of income to St. Vincent, have a lot of young people working and so forth. They didn't want it from day one, but Mr. Mitchell went and he got it on street. And that project came. They destroyed it. Right? They destroyed that. The girls' high school, the Thomas Saunders school, instead of developing those schools, they destroyed them. And now they put our students into some wooden building at Annesville where flea infestation was taking over our children. Right? You call that developing our country? Is that developing? We can't even maintain. We have a hospital. We can't even maintain our hospital. But because they were bragging about having a state-of-the-art hospital, they run now to say they're going to build a hospital, and they are hurrying this hospital down just because the election is there coming. I am hoping that we don't see the downfall of the runway like what we're seeing on the runway at the international airport. I hope I'm not seeing. I'm going to see the fall on the hospital like what we're seeing at the port right now. That they are not bringing to Vincentian to the public, so the public could see what the problems are at the port. We are facing a big problem at the port right now. They already cast the hole inside of that. What is the movement of the activities underneath? We don't know. We have moving and shifting of sand. I took some videos that I sent from that river coming down from Otis, going down there. I looked at them where they were putting down these drains, and they got the drain like in a Y, going in a Y section, out to the sea. Now that gutter has gone down below sea level, right? They have not even cleaned the drain that's going down that the bridge crossover to Middle Street. They have not even cleaned that out. So it could have a free flow of water going down there. Some time ago, not too long ago, we had rain and the whole of down there was flooded. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have not witnessed any real serious rainy storm as yet. We are yet to witness the ground sea. We know we normally have a season where we have lots of heavy ground sea surging from the underneath. What is going to happen with that port that they're building there, where we already have piles that are slipped in? We have already known. I have mentioned on a program where they did not get the right set of piles, the length of piles that they wanted. That was a hole up down there. And that's why you're having that slip, because the pile is not going down underneath the solid ground. We all know that. And that's why you have a slip down there. But this government chose to leave what they made another government have. Instead of building on that, yes, you could develop the country by building other infrastructure, but keep what we have, maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
The same cruise ship terminal that they were running down, that is the backup now for the big cargo ships now they put in there. What are they putting it there now to do? Damage it? To wreck that one too? I ain't seen they doing anything to the wharf that the Grenadines boats are going in. That wharf has been damaged so long. Why have not they been trying to fix it? All the monies that they're having. The storm gone so long and damaged that they're not doing anything to that. They're going on docking up now to the cruise ship terminal. Cruise ship season is going to start soon. What are the repairs and the development and the cleaning up that they have done over at the cruise ship terminal? What? Nothing as yet. But cruise ship coming in just now. Cruise ship season will start in just now soon. And what are we going to do? Wait until the cruise ship season come? Cruise ship, the people coming back and meet the Grenadines Wharf, the same state that they left it in. And they have people here who are doing a port down there that they could come up there and bring and do something on the Grenadines Wharf there. The Grenadines Wharf is a very, very active wharf. It's moving. Lots of traffic is there. They're not doing that. So now where are we? Where are we? I mentioned on the program this morning, I want people to go back and look at that movie Roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know that movie Roots?
Yes,
look at Roots. And there's a movie called Django. Look at that movie. Look at those movies and see what is slavery, what slavery is all about. This government and the leader of this government wants to keep us as if we are slaves and keep us to be begging. You have Emancipation Day. That way we say where the chain is supposed to be broken from our hands. We're supposed to be free. But this man is taking it from our foot and putting it back on our hand. Or putting it from our hands and putting it back on our foot. You understand? He has called for Mr. Carly Dugan resignation. He has called for Parnell Campbell. He has called for a lot of people resignation. Who is calling for his? He has failed in a lot of positions. This prime minister has failed. And he has a lot of his members who have failed as well. Anybody striking to call for the resignation? You know why? Because he tried to keep us where we can't do nothing. When we want to protest, which protest is something that everybody should be able to do, he wants to put more boots on the ground to stop us from protesting, stop us from putting things out there that is happening. And he wants to muzzle Vincentian and keep muzzle Vincentian down, so they must not be talking about the things that are happening. And we have some people who come in on the radio when they're hearing the facts and still trying to run it down, because why? They are drinking from the trough that the trough is letting out for them. Me, I am not going to keep my mouth silent, because I have my children and my grandchildren, and I have my great-grandchildren to come, which I may not see, God forbid. I wish I could live to see that I got a great-grandchild. But I want to know that I leave this great blessed land, that my children and grandchildren and others could live happily. Because for now, the people in St. Vincent who are not looking and who are not seeing what is happening now, and think now is the time to get rid of this government. Now is the time, because accountability, we are not getting it from this government at all. And this is where it has to stop. on election day, everyone has to go out and vote and make a change if they want to see St. Vincent and to get that hook out of the gill of St. Vincent and let St. Vincent float again. Because we are sinking. We are sinking, and we see the sinking coming from the middle in the boat. We experience nothing yet, Wait until we start getting these ground seas and the surging of the sea and the river and the rain coming down. When that water coming down from the river by Oti to go down under that port, and the backdraft of the water coming up from those surging. When those two water meet, I pray to God and hope that that middle of that flow don't bust open with those tunnels that they put there to say they put the drainage. I hope nothing like that happen. But who knows? The Prime Minister will not be here to see all of that and to witness all of that. He will be gone to lay where somewhere else where we don't know. God forbid. But enough was said. Let me say, Mr. Abraham, if you allow me, to send out condolences to the Brown family, which Joy Brown has passed it, former, she was former head teacher at the girls' high school. And I want to send out condolences to her family and everyone who she might have served with in school or whatever. And to my family, the Finley families of Villa, who my uncle will be laid to rest tomorrow, Mr. Luther Finley. Used to be a bodywork shop in Villa, and everybody knew him. He used to be a sailor as well. He will be laid to rest tomorrow and will be streaming live at the Kellicott Methodist Church. You can go on YouTube for people who know him and would like to, see the funeral who can't make it. It will be broadcasted live on YouTube, so they can just chip in and ask for that, and hope that they get to see the funeral. And we're going to lay my uncle to rest tomorrow.
Right.
And I just want to let it out there,
Yeah, thank you.
I want to let the people know. Go out and vote and make St. Vincent great again by getting rid of this administration. It got served. Wicked administration.
Right,
Pharaoh, let my people go. Have a good night.
That there is a protection against transmission of the disease. There is no variable to identify that escapes the protection of our vaccines.
President, good night. President, good night. Okay, I think so you're listening to Keeping It Real right here on East Radio. President, good night. Good night. Okay. Pleasant good night. Okay, so let me read them. Good night, gentlemen. I would like to hear from Weeks and those other bootlickers. I want to hear their opinion on what many are calling exploitation of our women in our country, including the young woman, the young girl. Let me just take the call. Pleasant good night. I don't know. Pleasant good night. Okay, Paul Levy. Father Ivan Poya, good night. Previous Minister for Julian Francis had an orgasm for stone intended for the building of the new port. We got some sand and more question about our taxes. Let them know that God don't wear pajamas or nighties. What an awesome education in revolution. We are going to return education to evolution, keep the fire burning, Blaze, great program. Okay, well, they're keeping it straight because I finished reading. Yes.
No, there's a serious situation. I understand that in North Leeward, the Shane out.
Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night.
Hello, good night.
Hey, good night. Finally.
Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a few things tonight.
Yes.
I'm going to try to keep it short.
You have the hospital, you have a clinic up your side?
Clinics all over the country. We're talking about.
Okay,
Every
okay.
single village has one.
Okay, good.
Boya already.
Which
came-
school you went to?
Huh?
Which school you went to?
Well, go ahead. Don't inquire, leadership. Go ahead.
Romans Anglican School, Tomoka Government School, Layu Teachers Training Center, and I was supposed to be going at a particular class on Saturdays, but I never showed up. I rather go to the police canteen or argue with Jim Maloney in Middle Street. I hang out with a fellow who used to work for the Vincentian named Howell Leolin, who used to be the photographer for them.
I know you know Jim Maloney.
I used to argue with the guy as a little boy.
Go ahead.
Black Power stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
let me ask you guys. Gary Puna, when you fellas went to school, anybody was telling you anything about Gary Puna? You know anything about that?
No, Caribana works.
Oh, I see. Because I went to school and I knew about black Caribs. And I keep hearing people talking about Gary Puna. And like this morning, I tried to ask some people where the name came from. They don't have a clue. They start to tell me stupidness about the same like Carib and Arawak. Well, I could tell them that Caribs and Arawak were real. Real. And let me give a little bit of history here too for people. Because we were taught the wrong thing. We were taught that the Caribs were the bad people. No. It was the Arawaks who were the bad people. And they used to raid these islands because, and furthermore, there were people living in this place before the Caribs came. They all came after. Some people did some excavation down in Wallabu and find things from, I got the information here from some ancient group or the other in Wallabu. Okay? Now, but here what the story is. You only find Caribs, folks, in St. Vincent and Dominica. But you have Arawaks all the way up to the Bahamas. You know why? Because of the hilly terrain of St. Vincent and Dominica, the Arawaks could not get to them. They couldn't get to them. So that is why they were here. And then some we have kind of contradictory things of how some black people get here. I know, for example, history says that some of them used to get from Barbados. But guess what? The Caribs here used to send them back. The Bajans used to come here and pay to take them back. After a while, some of them settled here. But then there was a problem. They were in some mindset. And I am reading history here. Let me see. I had a book around here somewhere. That, you know what the Caribs had to do to differentiate their babies? The purebred one from those mixed with the blacks? You have any idea?
No.
They used to put two things on the side of their head, so their head got a different shape. So you could differentiate them. Okay? And these fellas, they came and want to, we welcomed them and they wanted to do stuff to the Caribs who were here. Trust me. Now, when the British came, after the French left, they wanted them out of here. I asked somebody a question. How could a Carib get a name Joseph Chataway? You know, you got a fella comes on radio every morning and talk about critical thinking and critical thinking and critical thinking. But you have to ask that, how did a Carib get to be named Joseph Chataway? But guess what? My history also tells me that Joseph Chataway, that guy, was from Martinique, who came here to fight for the French against the English. But he came and sort of took over from the Caribs. He was no nothing. Then, of course, they lost. And no Caribs, not a single Carib was exported out of this country. The people who were removed from the country were known as Black Caribs. That's the history. Then the British gave them ships with provisions after who much of them died at Ballysore and all things. Dasheen and all them kind of thing, I understand. But guess what? Once they got to Belize and Rattan, the people there give them a name. Give them a name. You know what the name means? Cassava eating people. Garifuna. So when you got somebody coming on the radio and say they got Garifuna, seriously? Eh? But the Garifuna blood and all kind of foolishness. In the first place, most of the people in St. Vincent now came here from like Barbados on the Northern Antilles after slavery. Names, Weeks, this, that, Richards, all of them came here after. But you come and talk about their Garifuna. When Garifuna, meaning cassava, was given to the people in Central America by the people who came there. That's a little history. By the way, Abraham.
Hey.
What time did Leacock Force enter the political campaign?
I think it's 98.
No.
Before that?
No, after, man.
No, I think it's before the 2001 election for sure.
He was a candidate?
No, not candidate. Oh, it's candidate you're talking about?
Yes, man.
I think it's about 2010.
No,
5 or 10.
No, not 2010. No,
5 or 10 when he was.
All right.
Yeah, 5 I think.
I wonder, when I wonder how many persons know that certain individuals didn't want Leacock to be a candidate. Yeah, I wonder how many persons know that. Well, after a fellow named Douglas De Freitas, I've been there fighting up. But after a fellow Douglas De Freitas, he intervened. I got a call the next morning. Say, you can't hear this on the street. They have finally relented. You know, Ralph is in power because a lot of foolishness go down. For example, you couldn't possibly have a man like Jerry Scott and distance him. It's only because you distance yourself why that fellow Slater got in there. That's not a joke. You see what happens as soon as Jerry Scott appeared on the scene? Looks like peace. Again, another fellow, Israel Bruce. I believe Bruce would have won that seat a long time ago. You know? But that is a history lesson, folks. Why we have this thing on our heads here. Now, let me say good night. Because I understand yesterday that my affable friend, Carlisle Dugan, called this radio station to say what has been happening to him since he voluntarily went and got himself jabbed. You know, whole week I'm hearing a bunch of stuff about who went to the party and who dead and who been in accidents and who dead. But I find it strange that a very good friend of mine, Bailey, Police Bailey, a very good friend of mine would, you know, go to Heritage Kids Square just to drink a Mac. And I got word he died. I got word that he was told it was because of the gap. It's funny how I'm not hearing anything about him. And people afraid to talk about him. And then, of course, gentlemen, there is the fellow from grammar school. But nobody wants to, except for you, Abraham, tonight. And I can't say I listen to everybody because, seriously, if I get some chance, the only person I listen to is Margaret. And I have time to wait. And nobody could talk about these two guys. I wonder what happened. And I have certain information, Abraham.
You're talking about the police guy?
Yes, the police guy.
Okay.
From the police guy.
Yes.
You got
Bailey.
you got people recommending all kind of things for these people. Like 14 of them one time. And they're totally ignored. Imagine a guy is sick. And when he's sick and past some whatever the stipulated time is allowed for sick, you want to deduct his pay? You see, listen, we got to talk for these guys, right?
Yes.
We got to talk for these people. People will say they're afraid and no. Regardless of what, we have to talk for them. I know, listen, we know the story. 1,500 of them been there hanging out with Brenton Smith. And 48 hours before, more than half of them, that boggles my mind. Because in no way, in anybody's name, did Penn see the strength in numbers. Ralph couldn't fire them, could he?
No.
He couldn't. I know a lot of them are suffering quietly. But you can't suffer quietly. I'll tell you something. Seek medical attention. And I know I could recommend one guy. He won't mind. Dr. De Freitas. Check him out. Okay? You don't feel this way? Check him out. A wild lady went to him. The lady had 83. I don't know what to her now. But she was given 80-something days of sick leave. Because she took the job. She was in the medical field. Medical field. It's not right. Officer Providence, because he dead. And nobody don't tell me no stupidness. The vaccine kill him. Yeah. From Spring Village. And I have a whole bunch of relatives who gone. That lady from Chumuka walking with Brax of it. You see, my mother's cousin Nina and cousin this and cousin Lati and all kind of things. She was walking with Brax. Everybody tells you she was healthy as an ox. Right, Mr. You see, boy, my computer's giving me a problem here. But everybody talking about one vote. Who told the people that if they don't get the vaccine, this is not an exercise. You can't get on the boat.
Right.
But I also have a tape here, gentlemen, where Ralph Gonsalves told the people when the cruise ships were coming that they had to get vaccinated. The cruise ship requested that. The cruise ship, I got the tape, the fellow had to come out and say that's not true. His suggestion came from the Prime Minister. He did the same thing with Grenada. He did the same thing with St. Lucia. But everybody only wanted to talk about one vote. But it's all of them. One vote, all of them. Yeah? So now, fellas, this vaccine thing, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You read it? Abraham, there's some things you can't do one time and let it go. We need to talk about that Privy Council matter with the teachers, where
they're still waiting.
They're still waiting. Folks, listen to this. The case was heard. Justice Henry, her experience and her legal mind, gave a brilliant decision. Brilliant decision. They appealed. Within 30-something days, folks.
38.
38. Fill me in when I can't remember all the days. The case was heard, and a guy who was not qualified to be a judge decided in the favor of the government. He was not qualified to be a judge. He is still being challenged now for being there. Right? So now it's maybe 150-something, 160 days now.
More than that.
It's more than that now.
Yes.
That they have applied. Those people have applied to the Caribbean court, the same court that appointed this guy, who was not qualified, and they won't grant them the leave, folks, to get to the Privy Council. They will not grant them the leave to get to the relief to get to the Privy Council. Isn't that something? And no, anybody saying anything? Who's saying something?
I think Sheffler and Ballantyne, I think he and his wife,
That's it.
They're the only one I see.
That's it.
Yes.
And so people like you and I, folks, guys, we gotta keep reminding the people. Now, you know, I listen to something sometimes and I merely laugh. There's a fellow who the whole world hates. Now, a fellow named Donald Trump. In 1964, a fellow named Joe Biden spearheaded a law that affected a little crack or something. 60-something%, most of the people going to jail for eternity were black. The racist fellow Donald Trump going there and passed a law. I'm telling you all right now, 64% of those who benefited were black. One of them rapper fellas, can't remember which one of them now, wrote something about encouraging people, business people, to open businesses in these areas, black areas, low employment. You know, the Democrats did not respond to him. Trump did. And established, you get a credit. If you open a business in a black community, you get tax credit to that opportunity zone. But you don't hear about that. You don't hear about that. I'm hearing a bunch of foolishness from people. Now, let me read you all something. Saturday, August 9, 2025. In a move to further reverse the many harmful policies of the Biden-Harris administration, the Trump administration on Friday ordered federal agencies to delete all records relating to the COVID-19 vaccination status of government employees. Effective immediately, federal agencies may not use any individual's COVID-19 vaccine status, history of non-compliance. I messed up something there. Yeah, I'll come back to it. History of non-compliance with prior COVID-19 vaccine mandates or request for exemption from such mandates in any employment relating to decision, including but not limited to hiring, promotion, discipline, or termination. So a guy wrote that. Director of U.S. Office of Personnel Management, OPM, in a memo to the heads of all federal departments and agencies, things got out of hand during the pandemic, and federal workers were fired, punished, or sidelined for simply making personal medical decisions. That should never have happened. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, we are making sure the excesses of that era do not have lingering effects on employees. Agencies have until September 8, 2025 to comply with the OPM directive. I'm going to stop. There's a whole long thing. Now, I hear people talking foolishness about Trump and making some idiotic comparison with Ralph Gonsalves. Really? Ralph Gonsalves? The man who said he's going to go all the way to the Privy Council. And despite all the evidence that these vaccines, these jab things, are extremely dangerous and killing a whole bunch of people, and he persists, he insists. You know, the other morning, I got some information about athletes who have died in 2022 alone. 2022 alone, 1,100 of them while on the field. 1,598 of them got injured, got some kind of thing, but 1,100 of them died. So a doctor named Dr. Ruby went and do a little thing and put it up there. Between 1968 and 2004, guess how many athletes dropped dead on the playing field? The same 1,100. But then you got this guy who listened to that and then called some radio station to talk about critical thinking. And the fellow start to make some damn foolish comparison. I don't care. I don't talk for friends. Because guess what? Friends don't let friends drive drunk. You know? But to come there and to try to meddle up with this and say, well, you mean to tell me from 1968 to this, that only 1,100 people, sports people died? No, never mind. Never mind. For anybody to think that is the comparison, it's got to be out of their cotton picking mind. You see, but they're always talking about critical thinking. I'm gonna go down to one more here, guys. Now, the World Health Organization released a document. VG Access was launched by the World Health Organization in 2015 to provide public access to information. VG page, the WHO global database reported potential side effects of medical products. I'm going to name you a few. The mumps vaccine, 711 from 1972 to 2021. Rubella vaccine, from 1971 to 2021, 2,621. Ivermectin, you know that horse medicine thing? That thing been around from 1992 to 2021. It has 5 people with adverse reaction to it. 5,705. Let me see if I find one more that you people. Oh, the polio vaccine. Been around from 1968 to 2021. 121,988 adverse reactions. So I come down to the it's 20 something of them, eh? So I want to give you a few guys. COVID vaccine, 2,457,386 from 2020 to 2021. I wonder what that smart guy gonna say. Wait, fellas, I'm staying too long. Jeez, because I ain't seen out about the port yet. The swimming pool. You see, anybody who listened from the first time Ralph said the thing, that 1/3 of the thing has a problem. 1/3. But Ralph said it's minimal. Now you got what? You're dealing with the sea, folks. And if it's leaking, tell me how you're going to stop the sea from coming in there. Tell me. And I told you all what happened. Okay? I don't know what kind of geological study they did, and I'm trying to get, because the fellow Camilo, who all you love so much there, you like him, Abraham. He's all right. The fellow who had a job in Washington in a law firm and was fired and ended up being a DJ on a radio station in Philadelphia. All he do argue with me, you know, I always got my facts. And then was rescued by his father. Yeah. Born in New Jersey. Anyway, folks, they can't get the so-called galvanized whatever they put down there to stop they can't get a solid foundation. They can't get a solid foundation. I told you all again. I spent, by the way, boy, I went to preschool in Lomans and I went to preschool in Jamaica. I wonder how that. You mean preschool been around since then? Anyway, back to Lomans. I will take y'all if all you want to go. You come up by Shaprock there and go up, and you see something there where the road going up to St. Andrews. Those fellas, they got a little thing down and decide to build the road. But guess what? There's something under there that even when they put dynamite in it, the thing used to laugh. You remember them fellas building that going to build that center wrong so by Boom. And I come on radio and told them it can't happen because there's just a slap of soil there. Underneath is that thing there. My grandfather, like every 3 months, had to build an outside toilet, had to go dig a new hole. That's how I know, folks. You can't penetrate it. That's the same thing there. They can't penetrate it. They bring instrument things there to try to penetrate it. They bed up fire, Abraham. They bed up. That's why when they start running to this, they brought the fellas from Canada. To do what? Nature down there, the geology, Mr. Camilo Gonzalez. The geology. And you all remember I said about 3 months ago that all the sand that they bring there in the Beckwith Channel. Isn't it amazing that by Saturday morning, the whole thing, and I hear people saying the NDP, what the hell the NDP need permission to go there to see what? It's there in the open. And I'm telling you all again, the Caribbean Development Bank, most of the people, maybe 90%, wanted nothing to do with the project. As a matter of fact, the Europeans disappeared. You know, after they make some noise about relocating the people here, and you have to do this and you have to do that, they disappeared. So the last resort was the CDB. And what happened once this guy, you know, I gotta get it in, wrote, hand over the money, they fired him. They threw him out of the office, seized his computers and everything, seized them. Well, a particular part of my, you know, I gotta get stuff together, really. I don't know if I ever sent you the thing. A 4-page document defending the guy, but people didn't know why. Now, you know what they were saying? If the project failed, that's the end of the CDB. Right there. Right there. So the CDB right now have to be trembling in their boots if somebody were to send them these pictures to see what's going on there. Huh? Boy. Boy, oh boy. And I tell you something, well, you know, I try to get some of this information to some people. I meet a guy in front of the complex, I say, call me. He ain't called me yet, but that's all right. I got you guys to get the message out. Listen, you had a caller before. You're on track, my friend. Whoever you are, you're on track. You are on track. And guess what? CA Roughy X. Good night, guys. Good night.
Yes, keeping it real right here, night. I was told that is 160 days to be exact since they applied for leave to go to the Privy Council and it was not granted. But yes, so 160 days. Yeah, boy.
So then, where's the justice? Huh? Where's justice? If you are not afraid.
Holy point. Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night. Yeah, boy, go.
If you are not afraid, and you see you're doing the work of God, and you're so sure, send it forward to the Privy Council. Send it forward. Just like how your zone were able to be heard in 38 days, and you got a result. Is it that you fear that there's so much inadequacies in the decision that was made, where you had persons who were not qualified to address those matters, end up being the chief person who making the final decision?
Pleasant good night.
Every man for you.
Good night.
Where did evil come from, boy? One man that doing so good in a country, one man that doing so good in a country prime minister. Do a scholarship, billing this, billing that, good employment, people driving nice car, people have washing machine now, people people across to take off in a nice way. Well, it's evil come from Frank. If one could run the wall, let's take over the wall and run the wall and make the wall a better place. How civil just want that evil one place, boy? All these sick people. We are supposed to have to kill people, killing somebody died.
All right, thank you. Let me deal with some of those issues, right? Because during the course of the week, I were walking to Kingston, and I think one of the caller make the suggestions that the instead of we build on what we miss, what we basically do leave it to be destroyed. And he spoke about the Thomas Sanders, which used to be Richmond Hill, which converted into Thomas Sanders. He spoke about Girl High School. I know an individual went to Girl High School and spent 1 year in Kingston and the other 4 years out at the runway at the airport. Then we talk about the Parliament building now, the courthouse. We see the courthouse, and it has been deteriorated for a long time. Nothing happening there now, and they're going to move the court to the NCB building by the market. We have the parking lot. Remember, used to be there. Eh?
Yeah.
What used to be there?
Print used to be there.
Print used to be the electoral office.
It used to be there.
And
number of government offices.
Correct. So that basically destroy. They have the other one with, according to them, the Vagrant went and where the treasury used to be. That also is no more. So, and if you look now at I don't know if you ever walked to the back of, if you ever noticed, I know you always walked to the back of the post office and look at the condition at the back of the post office. So, the guy make mention also of Otley Hall and what the problem with the Otley Hall. And instead we build on what we missed and continue improving the country. What we did, we allow all of those buildings and some cases destroy and nothing happening there. So come back in now for you.
Also to the other medical facilities also that were there. That according to the Minister of Finance, they were non-existent until the medical facilities.
Okay. Yes. And some of them they leave to deteriorate so bad until after when repair. Look at I don't know when last you went to the country, look at the Bayabu police station.
Bayabu?
Yes.
So what was Beverly? And Spring Village.
I just go to Windward. I don't go to
Barely and Spring Village.
Okay. So you have those things that need, and the Bayabu police station is fairly new. And if you look at the condition of that, pleasant good night.
Yes, good night to you all.
How are you doing?
Good.
Darling?
You're calling darling. Why didn't the man invite you to his birthday party? Why didn't go? Huh? Fire?
Hello.
Why didn't go to the birthday party?
No, I'm cockroach.
You come cockroach all of a sudden? Huh?
I have never been for a party.
Man, you put egg in the man heart, man.
Man, I'm a cockroach. I don't have no waiting for a party.
You know a cockroach?
They call me cockroach.
Okay, all right. I hear you. Anyhow, let me continue. Abraham,
Aye.
the library need maintenance.
Well, somebody now
big square library.
Somebody now asked me what happened to the old public library also. Go ahead.
The library here need look from the roof come down. Yes. And what he should have built is an e-library. You understand? But they like to put up them big elaborate building to fool the public. Yes. And hardly anybody, they don't have no books and all them things, you know. Sometimes they can't, in the print, they have no ink, nothing. I don't even understand what's happening, but it needs maintenance.
Termite infestation.
Eh?
Termite infestation.
Yes. Termites there too?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. It built on a termite nest.
Oh my God. So
And
when
they
you will
even-
do that then?
And they even went further and planted trees that termite love.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
The
Yes,
shack
they
trees. You didn't see about them is a whole set of shack trees?
Yeah, well, I know you're the forest man, so you're gonna know that. Yeah, I can't doubt you. No, Abraham, I want to talk about last week we played a cricket cricket match, right?
Yes.
I think it's the first time a lot of people hearing about it
Yes,
because I
yes.
saw a guy talking and said that couldn't be because not even Mike Finley, Mike Finley advertised so much about this emancipation because he was on Facebook and he never mentioned it. So I said maybe they know because maybe it wasn't his time.
Yeah,
You understand?
he was there, man.
But he was there, he
Yes.
should know. You understand? So to make it song so old. So, oh my God, look at that. It's a good thing he had those things as record. Yes, and you see what happened now?
Yes.
West Indies won the series with Pakistan. I hear nobody saying, I hear one thing. You see how thing does it?
First time in 34 years.
First time in 34 years. But Abraham, something I want to, that is not right. Okay? And I don't want to bring in black and white in it. But every time it's looking like that. Now this young man, Mr. Shallow, okay? Well, I don't know. We heard about him when Rap had him up. He was the most, he had him up glorified. For him, I now realize for him, he was using him to bring the cricket here. For he to show himself. You understand what I mean? Because he had him up, he said well about him, and this, he even helped him. So he said he helped him to be okay. Now, all of a sudden, the same young man, you're going to campaign against that they should take him off the, you understand what I'm saying? It's not right. Suppose that young man wasn't a strong guy. And knowing what he went through, especially with his mother, you understand what I mean? And to see the prime minister, the head of a state is against you as a young man. It's not right. And it's the same prime minister saying that young people must soar like eagles with wing and clip. Now something so? It's so eager? Give them a chance. So now how the young people going to go in politics when you have even your prime minister degrading you as a young man? And this is not by this is deliberate too. Why should you refer to the guy as a little black boy? Abraham, black people should be conscious. It's the same like a black boy used to bring the World Cup. And let me give you a joke with that. When he brought the World Cup, remember they said it would have cost 30 million. And is to be true, a lot of people was against. Not a lot. Some people were against it. And I will plainly say maybe the opposition. Some people in the opposition was against it. Because we say we're spending $30 million to do this and that. But let me tell you what happened now. Mr. Weeks now, they had a program with Mr. Shallow. And all Mr. Weeks did was ask Shallow this. Here the question he asked him. Mr. Shallow, how did you feel when you were criticized about bringing the World Cup to St. Vincent and the Grenadines? You know what Shallow told him? I don't know the young man, no. But the young man is a genius, he's diplomatic. He said, Mr. Weeks, the citizens of St. Vincent have a right to criticize. Right? They have a right to find out how their money are being spent. And he shut up Weeks right there. Because what Weeks was getting at, how you could go now and be with the same people criticizing with the World Cup. The man tell him no, they have a right. They have to know how the money is being spent. Okay? And I want to hear it like he's strong. To me, the way we talk, like he's organized, he's strong. And young man, it's so sad that that the prime minister should be on you in that way. Even when to campaign that they come down. That ain't right. And number two now, oh boy. Mr. Gonsalves said, we never recognize or know what is emancipation until him. You hear, Paul, yeah?
Yes.
Poya, you never knew August Monday was Emancipation Day? Poya growing up?
Yes.
Yes, but he said we never conscious of it until he must 2 years ago brought a concert here and changed the date. How Mr. Gonsalves could say that? Eh? This is how we have us as black people? Come on. And another thing
Before it was the 4th of August.
No, it was the first Monday
No, it
in
was
August.
the 1st of August.
And then
the first Monday.
And then they
it
moved
was
back to the
always
1st.
recognized as the 1st of August is the Emancipation Day.
Okay, it
But
was
the
recognized as the
celebration,
1st of August.
yes, but the celebration
But we
used to
had
be
the holiday
on the Monday.
on the Monday.
Yes.
Correct.
No, somebody promised to give us back, but won't say it now. When they get there, they have to keep that promise. You understand? Nothing wrong with it. So he is joyfully announcing, like we weren't conscious about it. You know, happening now, Poya, the blacks in America. Notice people don't refer to America now. I don't know. But the blacks in America are now conscious of the value. You understand? They are joining together. They are knitting together. And they know the word. They have plenty words now. This is being revealed and it is being talked about.
No idea about that word.
Yeah, but you know
the,
go with
the
racism and what's
system,
not.
yeah.
Yes. And another thing I saw, Poya, the Prime Minister must respect our people, especially our girl children. I see on Facebook the PM pearl hairdresser with some braids with some young lady sit down in a yard. And he behind sheep with a sheepish smile like he trying to braid the hair. Why that? Why you going
mean why that? At any means,
Poya,
no,
you must have respect.
they are using a black person language now.
No,
listen. By any means necessary.
Oh, so this is by all means.
Yes.
This election to me is by all means.
Necessary.
People be aware. That is not right. That is a young. Why should be there? Say come in here. If it was a upper class person, you think they would allow him to do the data, sir? Fire? Would they allow it to do that, sir?
Watch me. He has trampled on us in so many ways. Look at the nonsense with the Baptist with the bell.
Right.
You think he could have gone to the Catholic Church and take up a bell class?
Well, no, he's supposed to develop the minds of the people, not use them in that manner. That is not right.
People use itself because if they're proud of themselves and what they actually
well, because they need some kind of black consciousness again. Because when I was growing up, I happened to meet the black power. Well, Abraham kind of young. Abraham might know about that.
You know about it, man. You know.
So, and Abraham was playing young then. But he's playing young sometime. Because some things like you say, don't know. Abraham.
Go ahead.
And another thing I want to, there was one big disappointment I have with you and your party, is the judicial system. I know the Prime Minister is a lawyer, and I always thought that would have been one area we would have been proud of. But it's not, Poya. Poya, it's not the judicial system. You cannot even get justice. One time I had a civil matter just the other day, first time going to court, magistrate court. Oh my God. The thing like a mockery. To be honest, I remember Monzi. You remember this? Monzi? Lawyer Monzi used to come and he will have a file with the cases that he's going to have for the day. And that man will walk through those cases and get them done with. Sometimes people used to come and say, Monzi say this, Monzi say that. You say it outside. But it's not happening now. It's not happening now. They have a magistrate now. I don't know, they're just crawling. And so much a case, adjournment and all sorts of things like that. And I thought that was one area he would have shine in the judicial system. But instead of that, everything is done, Abraham.
Cheryl, Sonia rather, Sonia. Have you ever analyzed with all the government that we have, that has been in charge of this country, which government and its people always at loggerhead.
Oh my God.
Go from 1955, 50s with the adult suffrage.
51.
51.
51,
To present day. The most.
Abraham, no. Gentlemen, it's just like confusion. Confusion is the word that is used with this government. Every little something always happening. Why?
With a Labour government.
With the Labour government.
A Labour government.
I know that people just run from the Labour government like that's fed up for them. And that is what's happening right now. Okay, and they're not doing
And this
things.
one especially, the public has taken into court the most. And it has lost. And it does not accept
Yes.
losing.
And they do not accept it, but
No,
what about...
they don't. They find some ways to meander and try not to accept responsibility and blame. For instance, let me go over the issue of the vaccine mandate. Why you are telling people to come back for the work, but you don't want to go to Parliament and withdraw? Repeal the court. Since you don't think, go and repeal it.
Yes, he can do that in Parliament. And why are you afraid of doing that?
Because then it could show him up.
Well, remember the man, he's a king, Anna. He's a king now. You understand?
All kingdom fall.
All kingdom, yes, the Roman Empire is fall. But Poya, you're going back now with, let me go with the workers. Okay? And I had a question to ask you. And you said they will answer me. Why was the minimum wage hustle hurried? Why it was hurried? Without even sitting down, remember this to categorize it like to say domestic, agriculture workers and what's not. Why it was hurried and everybody was given a $50?
No, everybody was given a $50 because you still have people who are still working for less than $50.
Based on the law.
Based on the law.
Based on the law?
Everybody was given 50 based on the law.
But based on the law, everybody was supposed to get 50.
Yeah, based on the law.
Because they hurried it, they did not categorize it.
No. No. Watchmen don't get $50 at least.
No, but you're saying based on the law.
Based on the law, but I'm asking you, Poya, why was it hurried?
It was hurried to try to say that how they have increased the minimum wage. But you
had no, Poya. The answer is right before your eyes. Somebody was coming and somebody would exploit, so they had to do it. They had to do it because the body was going for that minimum. Man, I thought man. Yes, but it need to be redressed, right? Because if you take domestic should be working for more if you take it at the 50. Right, Abraham?
But
I'm listening.
Yeah,
but
Abraham, what about this?
Sonia, you have workers at the Sports Council. Have been working there for 35 years. And just now they now reach $50. 35 years. 35 years, the groundsmen. And compare to the groundsmen in other Caribbean countries.
Okay, so in other Caribbean countries, give me an average. They get more than $50, right?
The averaging at $75 and upwards.
75 and upwards.
Yes.
Okay, what about the economy? How the economy in that country? Much better than here?
Well, I would say some of them average as us.
Yeah, remember. Remember you have to go with the economy here too, eh?
Yes, no, average just like us.
You think so?
Yeah.
We below average, you know. You know that? Come on, Poya. Our economy is shaky. You know that. We're not producing. We're not exporting. What are we exporting, Poya? That will bring millions as before. You have to look at that. Okay? All that's happening is borrowing.
Ask the Minister of Agriculture.
All that's happening is borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. And 4 months to go before election and you borrowing money. What you going to do with the money? And the easiest thing this government ever did, before I go, is use road repair to get loans, and those roads never get repaired. School repair and road repair, that is how they budget. Go for loans, and it never ever happens. Good night.
All right.
No,
Thank you.
they benefit a lot from storms.
Thank you. Yeah, so I fed up with this talk about Vincent or Godfrey and people. The only way I will accept that is if Gonsalve is God, because it's Gonsalve the people afraid. All this coming up the girl, hey, just make Gonsalve look stupid. He done lose 100 votes by doing that. The thing is, we're taking a call tonight, sorry, just about 3 minutes to go. Yes. So, boy, the thing the issue is that when we was calling for, well, they were calling for the board removal of the West Indies. I asked an individual, we have record crime in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, why we don't ask the cabinet to resign? Oh, it's different. I say, how
It can be different.
I asked him how it become different, because if you blame, well, we know you can't blame the government for crime, but the stupid level of reasoning to blame the board for the action of the West Indies players, then I asked him why we don't ask the government to resign also. Oh, it's a different thing and blah, blah. So I sometimes don't understand the logics and the level of reasoning of certain individuals, because it's, if the board is responsible for the players, then the cabinet is responsible for happenings in business. And again, these by the same logic. So sometimes they have to think properly. I wanted to play this. Let me just play a little part and then you'll come in.
Kezroy Chambers, brother of the late Sergeant Chambers, says he is relieved the matter is finally reaching closure, which may bring some peace to the family. However, he expressed dissatisfaction with the lack of proper communication from the authorities throughout the process. Kezroy, who resides in the United Kingdom, said he only learned of the coroner's inquest completion after personally visiting the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions during a recent trip to St. Vincent.
In terms of conversation with members from the DPP office that they have stated.
We're going to deal with that more next week. That is Chambers, the police officer who was shot and killed. Well, I think
Well, they say he was murdered.
According to the thing, he was murdered. But we want to know by whom and if anybody going to be held accountable. But we'll deal with that next
and
week.
the other guy was by misadventure.
Yes, I heard about it. We'll deal with that next week. Go ahead. You have about a minute.
Well, I am pleading again for people to assist with this program. We ask you to drop it off at Nightingale, or if you see any one of us, or if you could get it to the station. Without your assistance, the program may not be able to continue, being straight up right now. So any little bit that you could offer for this program to continue, please remember, if you want keeping it real on the air, you have to play your part too. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, so like I indicated, that is a whole heavy load that we have there, because I don't understand the argument, because the misadventure suggests is quote unquote judicial killing, and murder suggests something else. But like I indicated, we will try to deal with that next week, because, and like I hope that they publish it, or when the family get a copy, they could give us, let us see exactly what went on. Until next week, DB, have a wonderful evening.
Keep it Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday, only on Nice Radio.
Today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tomorrow, the Caribbean. Nice Radio. 90.3, 101.3, 96.7 FM.
At Sol, we know our customers need fuel economy and good mileage. The additives in Sol Go Further fuels enhance your vehicle's performance with superior deposit control, friction reduction, and outstanding